Alright, now we're going to do the outside portion. So, we're going to close the door, turn our indicator off, turn our strobe light off, turn our hazards on. Our headlights are still on. Make sure everything else is off. So now that is off, we're going to turn the bus to off and then set it to run. And then open the door. Now we have our steps properly mounted secure, no obstructions or trip hazards. I'm going to exit the bus using 3 points of contact. 1, 2, 3 points at all times. Alright, we have our handrails properly mounted secure, not cracked or bent, smooth with no rough or sharp edges. We have our step light and our courtesy light properly mounted and secure, not cracked, broken, or missing. Now we have our door seal properly mounted and secure, not cracked, dry, rotted, or missing. We're going to check our mirror bracket. We'll check each one the same way. They are properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. Up here, we have our 3 clearance lights, our student lights, our fender marker lights, our headlight, our hazard lights, and our reflectors, all properly mounted secure, not cracked, broken, or missing. We're sitting out front here. Our bus is sitting level. There's no leaks and nothing hanging. Hood.
I'm gonna get this.
Now we have our hoses, properly mounted secure, not cut, leaking, or missing. We have our wires, properly mounted secure, not cut, torn, frayed, or corroded. We have our oil dipstick, oil tube and dipstick, properly mounted secure, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. To check the oil, I would pull out the dipstick, wipe it off with a rag, reinsert it, pull it back out. Make sure the oil level is between add and full. We have our air compressor, properly mounted secure, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. Air compressor is gear driven along with everything on this side of the engine. We have our power steering reservoir, properly mounted secure, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. Cap is on tight and the fluid level should be between add and full. We have our power steering hose, properly mounted secure, not cut, damaged, leaking, or missing. We have our power steering gearbox, properly mounted secure, not cracked, damaged, or leaking, and the power steering gearbox is gear driven. We have our steering linkage, 1, 2, 3, and 4, properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. Then we have our castle nut and cotter pin, properly mounted and secure, not missing. Now we'll go into our suspension. We have our shock, properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, missing, or leaking. We have our leaf spring, properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, shifted, or missing. We have our front and rear mounts, properly mounted secure to the frame, not cracked, bent, or broken, or missing. We have our center U-bolt, properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, broken, loose, or missing. Now we have our brakes. We have our brake hose, properly mounted and secure, not cut, damaged, or leaking. We have our ABS line, properly mounted secure, not cut, damaged, or frayed. We have our brake chamber, properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, broken, missing, dented, or leaking air. We have our slack adjuster and push rod. It is properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. With the brakes released, I cannot pull the push rod more than 1 inch by hand. Right there. We have our brake drums, properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, broken, dents, or any holes, no excessive dirt, oil, and grease. And we have our brake lining, properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, broken, damaged, or worn excessively thin. We have our tires. We will check all three sides, 2 and 3, for abrasions, bulges, and cuts. The tread is worn evenly across the top, and the tread depth is no less than 4/32 of an inch. We have our inner and outer rims properly mounted and secured, not bent, cracked, broken, or damaged, and no illegal welds. We have our lug nuts properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged, or missing, no signs of rust trails or shiny threads indicating they are loose. We have our hub seal properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged, missing, or leaking. We have our valve stem and cap properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. And to check inflation, I would use a tire gauge daily. Alright, now we'll go over to the other side. We have our coolant reservoir properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. Cap is on tight, and the coolant level is between add and full. We have our coolant hoses and clamps properly mounted and secure, not cracked or not cut, damaged, leaking, or missing. We have our alternator properly mounted and secure, not cracked, broken, missing, or damaged. The alternator is belt driven along with everything else on this side of the engine. We have our alternator wires properly mounted and secure, not cut, torn, frayed, or corroded. We have a water pump properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. Water pump is belt driven. We have our serpentine belt properly mounted and secure, not cut, torn, or frayed, and has no more than 3/4 of an inch play. Now my suspension, my brakes, and my tires, I would check the exact same way as I checked on the other side. Now we have our stop arm properly mounted and secured, not cracked, damaged, or no loose screws. Now we have our clearance lights, 2 yellow, 1 red. We have our marker lights, side marker lights. We have our 3 reflectors, 2 yellow, 1 red, all properly mounted and secure, not cracked, broken, or missing. We have our emergency exit label with the reflective tape all around, properly mounted and secure, not cracked, peeling, or missing. Now under here, under the bus, we have our frame, properly mounted and secure, no cracks, no damage, it's not bent, and no broken welds. You have your cross members, properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged, and no holes in the floor. You have your exhaust, properly mounted and secure, no holes, cracks, dents, damages, or leaks, no rust or carbon soot indicating leaks. You have your exhaust clamps, properly mounted and secure, not cracked, damaged, or missing. You have your drive shaft, properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. Universal joints, properly mounted and secure, not cracked or damaged, and properly greased. You have your safety loops, properly mounted and secure, not damaged, cracked, broken, or missing, and free of debris. Now we have our rear suspension. I would check everything on the rear suspension the exact same way as I checked up front, with one exception. We have an airbag back here, and that is properly mounted and secure, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, fully inflated and not leaking. My brakes on the back, I would check the exact same way as I checked up front. And my tires, we have dually tires on this, so we will check all 6 sides, 4, 5, and 6, for abrasions, bulges, and cuts. I'm going to check the tread to make sure it is not worn, or make sure it is worn evenly across. Our tread depth will be no less than 2/32 of an inch. We have our bud spacing between the tires there. It is evenly spaced and free of debris. We have our inner and outer rims properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, broken, and no illegal welds. We have our lug nuts properly mounted and secure, not cracked, broken, missing, or loose. There's no rust trails or shiny threads indicating they are loose. We have our axle seal properly mounted secure, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. No loose or missing bolts. We have our valve stem, which is here and here. Valve stem and cap properly mounted secure, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. And to check tire inflation, I would use a tire gauge daily. We have our splash guard properly mounted secure, not cut, torn, or missing. Now we have the rear of the bus. All lenses are properly mounted secure, not cracked, broken, or missing. We have our hazard lights working properly. We have our 2 red reflectors properly mounted secure, not cracked, broken, or missing. We have our emergency exit label and yellow reflective tape properly mounted secure, not cracked, peeling, or missing. We have our license plate light works properly and not damaged. Alright, now I'm going to open the door. So I opened the door and I checked for the prop rod. It was working properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, broken, and latches properly. I checked the door seal, properly mounted secure, not cracked, dry rotted, or missing. And I checked the door hinges. They were properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, broken, or damaged. We have our tailpipe, properly mounted secure, not cracked, damaged, or missing any clamps. Under here, we have our fuel tank and fuel cage, properly mounted secure, not cracked, damaged, and the fuel tank is not leaking. Along here, check our fuel cap, properly mounted secure, not missing, and is on tight. Now, everything on this side of the bus, I would check the exact same way as I checked on the other side of the bus.